Happy Friday! Welcome to episode 13 of Sweet Skein of Mine. My name's Amanda and this is a knitting podcast. I'm coming to you from Fredericton, New Brunswick. This is just kind of my knitting journey diary, I guess you could say. And I'm an indie dyer, so yeah, episode 13. So welcome back anybody that's been watching and anybody that's new. Just a little knitting chit chat. So I've been a little bit slow getting another podcast up. Just not a lot's been going on, nothing in particular. Busy with baseball on the weekends now, which is wonderful. My son's played baseball since he was, oh my goodness, maybe 5 years old. He's 17 now, and he plays competitive, so it's good ball. It's a lot of fun, good group of people, and all my family tends to go. So we just hook up on the weekends and get to watch baseball. So it's kind of a dreary day here in Fredericton. We've had the worst weather. It's gone, well, I shouldn't say worst weather, but we go from having super hot day to, like, last Tuesday at work I had on a wool cardigan, a wool scarf, and my boots on that day and then the week before I had the air conditioning on. So I don't know, hopefully it's smooth sailing from here on in for this summer, because I don't like it to be too hot, but this cold weather's been odd. So yeah, welcome back. I've got a lot to show you, or I feel like I do, because it's been probably a month since I've done this podcast last. I don't know. So I threw this on really quickly because I showed this in my last podcast. It's my windswept shawl by Homespun House, and I did it in my Sweet Skein of Mine colorway Peach Melba in the DK, but it wasn't blocked, so I felt like it didn't show up as pretty as it can be, even though I did the whole border part wrong. I don't care. But now that it's blocked, you can kind of see that I followed through with my mistake quite consistently. The color's not showing up very well, but it is peachy with a few speckles. And as I mentioned before, it was a picot bind off. First time I had done it. It's a very slow bind off, but I'm happy to try something new every time I knit something. So yeah, it's nice to have that blocked, and I'm really into pastel shawls. Not really pastel clothing or anything else, but for some reason I really like this soft shawl. This is not a good color. I tried to sit by my garden doors so that I could show better color, but I don't think it's working. Blocked in lavender. Smells yummy. So I have two finished objects to show you. So I mentioned that I was doing the Hipster by Joji Locatelli. Here it is. This was by far my favorite knit. I really loved doing this. I learned a couple of new methods, and I adore the color that I chose for this. I had said before, we all kind of chose organic, rusticy kind of colors, and I did mine in the Artful Americana DK, and the colorway was Antique Gold. So yeah, I love it. This was a really quick knit. The only thing that's kind of slow about the process are these crossovers. So you do a row where you're with your yarn overs, and then your next row is dropping the yarn overs and creating these crossovers, 3 over 3. But it's very easy, very straightforward. And other than that, it's a lot of garter, a little bit of a pattern here on that row. And then it was an elastic bind off. So that was another new technique that I had never done. And then there's, you know, you can do your tassels or your little fringes however you choose to. I did mine just a little bit longer and not quite as thick as, sorry, I've got fuzzies in my nose. So yeah, that was, I'm already thinking I'm going to dye up some of my own DK yarn and knit up another one. I don't know what color, but I'm thinking like a, I don't know, like a bluey, denim-y kind of color. So anyway, and it's a really nice size. It's the first time I've knit a crescent shawl. So just to show you the size, it's a nice big shawl. Anyway, as much as I love wrapping them around my neck scarf wise, I feel like this summer I will wear it a lot like this, because I wear sundresses a lot in the summer, and especially like at baseball or something. I think it would be nice just to have something like this wrapped around you. And yeah, I love that Hohe named it hipster, because it really is. You just kind of feel like it's very, I don't know, I love it. So I recommend knitting this. This is easy, and then you have a beautiful product. I think this is like a nice, I think it would be a really nice knit as a present as well, because I feel like anybody would love this, and it wasn't hard to do. It was quick. So that is my only finished object that I have. Oh no, I'm lying. I forgot. So my knitting group and I, we get together every few weeks, and then this weekend one of the girls is hosting a sleepover at her cottage, and this is the first time I've been invited. They've gotten together for a couple of years, but I'm kind of new to the group. What they do is they get together and they do a craft for the afternoon and the evenings. So they're doing a felting project. So they picked a wine bottle holder to knit and felt. So, and it's really, really cute, but I chose to instead, just because I feel like I would use it more. I could always, I guess, knit a beer growler. It's kind of more up my alley. A large, shallow felted bowl. So it's a free pattern on Ravelry, and that's exactly what it's called, a large, shallow felted bowl, and it is by Deborah Gray. I am eventually going to get into like editing and putting up little blurbs. I'm just really kind of quick with this stuff, aren't I? So I did it and I loved it, and the yarn I did was in Noro. Is it Curion? I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's it is 100% wool. Yep, and it's just a 50-gram skein. So it's yeah, I made a bowl, and this was so easy. I used size 8mm US 11 needles, my stinky gold Addies. So it knit up, like I did this in an afternoon. So I know like this was totally supposed to be for our Saturday project, and felt it together, but I guess I got carried away and it was really quick going, and so I actually finished it. But then it's got my little cocoa knit stitch needle stoppers in it right now. But anyway, yeah, I've never felted anything before. So you literally knit up the bowl, and then the instructions were to just throw it in a pillowcase, put your washing machine on hot, throw in a pair of jeans if you want like the extra agitation. So tie up the pillowcase, throw it in, and I had to like have it agitated probably a good 3 rounds before, because the instructions said felt it until you really can't see the stitch pattern. So I probably could have had it in long, a little bit longer, but I don't know. I think it's adorable. And so I took it out, and then my sugar canister, like it just says, put something heavy in it to weigh it down and shape it. So I put my sugar canister in it and then just kind of tapped the, after I get all the water out, and let it dry for a day. And anyway, I think it's adorable. So if you guys wanted a quick little fun felting experiment, this was easy. It was like a $10 skein of yarn. So yeah, so there's one finished object and two finished objects there. Yeah, so I do have some whips as well. But first of all, I'm going to show you my little nerdy thing that I did yesterday. I have been, well, because I mean, I say I'm a new knitter, but I really am a new to the knitting world, and have just been like slowly accumulating needles and all the notions and all that fun stuff. But I've had a plastic bag on the go with all my needles. And every time I need a new set, they just go in. And then when it's time to start a new project, I have to dig through this bag of needles and like figure out what I have. And anyway, so yesterday I went to Walmart. I got an accordion file folder, and I organized all my needles. So I should have bought one size bigger in this accordion file, but everything is there now. So I didn't organize it on length of my circulars, but just on the needle size. So now instead of going through all the needles, I can dig in one pocket and narrow down what I need. So that was yesterday afternoon. Well, not afternoon, it took me like half an hour, but it felt really, really good, because I can be really, really organized about some things and completely chaotic about some things, and this was very refreshing to throw that plastic bag out, have my needles all together and kind of stashed in a good organized way. I've been looking at needle keepers, whether it's a Spastrico and Etsy, and there's some beautiful ones out there. But yeah, I think I just kind of felt like I wanted it to be like something standing and something more organized. So, oh, and this is all I have left of that skein of yarn that I made the felted bowl out of. Anyway, isn't that a pretty mug? I got that for my birthday from my friend Jane. I'm having Earl Grey tea with a spoonful of lavender infused honey. It is so good. Whenever Dan goes away, he always has he goes away for work a lot, and anyway, he always has a day off and he likes to wander and find something fun to do. Anyway, he went to a lavender farm when he was in Ontario. Was it Strata, Ontario, I believe? And he came home with goodies. He came home with like lavender infused honey, lavender spray, a lavender candle, a lavender sachet for my car. He's such a grampy. I love it. So anyway, this is so good. I love Earl Grey tea with honey, but this lavender infused honey is delicious. Okay, so I have set aside 3 whips that I have on the go. So speaking of Dan, I'll show you what I have on the go for him. In my Paradise Island project bag, I love this bag so much. This is in my purse all the time. It's that perfect size. So I had mentioned a while ago, Dan had gotten some yarn at River City Yarns and got himself a skein of the Oilers hat trick yarn, and asked me to do up a hat for him. So I went on Ravelry and tried to find like a good, what he had described, he wants something really tight to his head and something that would have a cuff that he could fold over to keep his ears warm. So I found this on Ravelry. It's called Eric's Hat. It's a free pattern. I don't know who it's by. It doesn't say. It's just called Eric's Hat. You start off with a 3x3 ribbing, and I'm doing it in a 2.25 needle. So this is what I have on the go so far. So his birthday's in August. I'd like to have it done for that, but we'll see. So you have to do this 3x3 ribbing for 11 inches. I mean, I can totally have it done for August. So yeah, and then the pattern continues, and then you start to do your decrease, and yeah, I think it's gonna be a really nice, snug hat, and this is his hockey team, so I have that as one work in progress. Another one that I've had on the go for some time, and I think I showed it to you guys when barely anything was done, in one of my favorite bags, my Buku project bag. It's from, I have a couple of these bags. One I think I got from, well, one I definitely got from Espastrico, and one I got from her website. She's on Etsy, Buku. Like I said, I should probably, today might be the day I edit and put things up on the screen to make it easier. But I'm very, very good at direct messaging back immediately. So if anybody hears something and I didn't say it clear, or you had a question, absolutely direct message me on Instagram, because that's where I'm good. I'm awful on Ravelry. Yeah, my whole knitting history is definitely Instagram and now this. So Ravelry is just not a place that I go to document anything. So the easy one, another Hohi Locatelli. It's a pullover sweater. So there's one picture. There's definitely a better picture to show you the sweater. This one. So it's a pullover sweater with dropped shoulders. And as mentioned before, I'm doing this in Brooklyn Tweed Loft, colorway Truffle Hunt. And it's a really browny gray with little pops of blue in it. So I have a ton done. This is an easy knit. The only thing that's slow on it is that it is fingering weight, and there's a lot of knitting. So you're just knitting in circles around and around and around. But it's easy. So if anybody is, Kelly, I know you just started sweater knitting, try this. It's so easy, and you'll love it. But yeah, so it's top down, and it has an exposed seam on it. And this is going to be like the drop shoulder. There is a part where you finish the neck, but yeah, I've got a ton done. So I want to find a spot where it really shows that pop of blue. Oh, I don't know if it's picking it up. There's little speckles. Maybe I'll move my phone with me. Can you see that? There's some speckles of blue all throughout this, and it's so pretty. So I think it's gonna look really nice with blue jeans. And anyway, this is also the sweater that I'm knitting. I'm gonna knit one for my daughter, but in worsted weight. So yeah, I'm almost done the body. I have just a little bit more to go here, and then I do the cuff, and then a couple of sleeves. So I want to find a couple of, or a circular that's small so I can fly the sleeves off quickly. So that's my work in progress, one of them. And my second work of progress, if you follow me on Instagram, I posted a picture. I wanted to knit a shawl all with my yarn. Like I just did the windswept in my yarn. And it's crazy that I don't knit with my yarn as much as I want to, but then I get distracted by all these other dyers, and I like supporting other people too. So This is called A Girl's Best Friend. It's Isabel Kramer. So let's find another picture. Here's a good one. There. So her color palette on this pattern was like a taupe and a real goldy mustardy color, and then the pink. So I loved that. I was going to go exactly with what she did, but then I decided to try out some of my own. So I'm trying to show you guys some project bags today. So this is one of my another favorite project bags. It's the Toffee Fringe Supply. I have a ton done on this, and I swear I have a life. Doesn't seem so though, because I have so much knitting done. But I have conquered knitting without having to look at my hands. Whatever that muscle memory is, I've never been able to do it. And then just the past month, I've been able to like look ahead, and I think I could have probably always done it, but I had that fear of making all these mistakes and not wanting to have to go through and make all the fixing all those stitch errors. So I finally said to myself, I'm going to start knitting, looking down, and I'll deal with the problems. There's clearly a part on this shawl that I could have never knit without looking, but I will show you what I have done. I get myself organized. Okay, here it is, A Girl's Best Friend. So you start here, and so I was saying this is all Sweet Skein of Mine yarn. This is Rose All Day. This is Pollen and Love. It's like a really pretty goldy, yellowy, boy, is this light's bad. But it reminded me of pollen, so aptly named Pollen and Love. Can you see that? It's not really showing up as pretty as it is. There's an Instagram picture of this. So Pollen and Love, and Chalkboard, my just everyday gray. I'm gonna move my phone again because this light in the kitchen is awful. So there, that's a little better. So this stitch I obviously didn't look away from. This is an interesting stitch. I'd never done this before. This whole part, it's easy, but you're like making 5 in one stitch. Like in one stitch, you'll knit, purl, knit, purl, knit 5 times, whatever. And yeah, and then the second row, you're knitting it together. And anyway, it's a paid for pattern, but it's easy, and but this part, I'm not gonna lie, is super time consuming. And I started to get low on my gray, so instead of caking up a new skein, I was like, eh. So I dropped like 4 rows of the pattern. 4, only 4. I'm such a cheater, but I was not gonna cake up a new skein just for 4 rows. So I'm continuing on, and this thing is gonna be huge. Like if I go from there, from there to there, taking in consideration it's still bunched up on like a 47-inch cord, it's gonna be a nice big shawl. So I'm getting there. I am like, I just dropped the pattern. I feel like such a hot mess today. And it is, it's hot in here. There. I am at that pink part right there. So I just have this gold part to do, and then I'm not sure about the pom-poms. Maybe, I guess I could try them, and then if they're not for me, I'll pop them off. I don't know, we'll see. But by next podcast, I'll have this done. And yeah, I love it. It's a fun knit, and I'm very happy with my yarn. I mean, I think I can say that without sounding, I don't know what the word would be, not not conceited, but I clearly don't mill the yarn. The yarn I get that I dye is so soft and it's not splitty. Anyway, it's all fingering weight, so this is not a super quick project, but I do love a fingering weight shawl. As much as I love my hipster, it is certainly not as cozy as something like this. It smells, I love the smell of wool. Okay, so there's my works in progress. Something fun that I did, I guess I always have this on the go, so how can I not show this? This is in another fringe supply bag. And my enamel pin game is like getting there, isn't it? Ooh dear, I'm a mess. So I've got my Christmas tree. This was my first enamel pin. My Espastrico. This was another first from Espastrico. There's my little popcorn sheep. That one. This one, and this one were from my wool swap partner, a Candy. Leslie Jane got me this one, my grocery girls. And then Sandy from the Lakeside gifted me this at the Frolic. So I keep all my pins on one bag instead of kind of distributing them. I like to have that. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what's changed on this bag since I've shown you last how much larger it's grown, but it's getting there. This is going to be a nice blankie. And I have no timeline for this. It's just always going to be picked away at. And so, yeah, Robin, I met a sweet person in Toronto when we went to the Frolic. One of the girls that was with us, Sarah, is friends with a girl named Robin. She's Knit Pearl Mama on Instagram. Anyway, she lives in Quebec and she has a yarn store. I wrote it down. La Nage du Petit Mouton. So we met quickly there, and then she reached out to me on Instagram and we started following each other, and our game plan this summer is to get to Quebec with some girls and go to Espastrico, and also visit Robin. I think that would be a lot of fun. And she said, yeah, like she'll have like a little knit night at her yarn store. So she's also working on like a scrappy blanket as well, but she DM'd me and said, you want to do a swap? So we did a mini swap, and Robin, I have made a point to not ball and use these up because I wanted to show everybody what you did. Look, she skeined them all up. So we did a 10-gram swap, but each and every single one of them, she skeined up and did this. Okay, and then I felt like such a loser because I literally went to all my scraps, balled 10 grams up, balled 10 grams up. Sorry, Robin. Lesson learned. Of course, we all want to know what we're putting into our blanket. Color-wise and all that fun stuff. So, yes, thank you for being so organized. You taught me something. I'm getting there. So yeah, look at all of these minis. So I am going to take the time to ball these babies up, get them into my cozy memory blanket. I think it takes like 20 minutes, half an hour per square when you're putting these in, because I just do the 20 by 20 mitered squares. So they go by really quickly. This is a fun project. So I recommend taking your scraps and putting them into something that you can have as an ongoing fun thing to do. Something else, Kelly Boyce at Lockbriar Knits, she mentioned the Adventurous wrap. It's by Amba, A-M-B-A-H, the Adventurous wrap. If you have a minute, take a quick peek at it, because it's a wrap that uses up scraps. So I really want to do that too. I have so many things I want to do, and I just, this summer is going to be fun. So thank you, Robin. I'm so happy that we did this. And that's what makes all of this so fun. Instagram, knitting, doing a podcast. I've made some friends. And Robin, I'm going to come visit you. I want to see your yarn store. And last podcast, I did not mention this, but I have to say Nancy, another Instagram friend that we've stayed connected. She's been a great customer of Sweet Skein of Mine yarn. She took some of her leftovers and made me these. So, oh my gosh, I love them so much. This is the colorway Good Karma, and this is Donut Kill My Vibe. Anyway, and she made a card. Look at that. It's a ball of yarn with some needles and a nice little note. Yeah, she had dropped this off at work for me one day, and it was a day I was not having a good day. So Nancy, I told you how much this made my day, and it really did. Thank you so, so much. So I have these hanging on. I have this, my own like little room over there, and there's a mirror with like little pegs on it, and I have them hanging in there. I love them. Thank you, Nancy. So, so thoughtful. And it's nice seeing your yarn knit up. So I have that. Something else I wanted to just show really, really quickly. I'm a pen and paper girl, like lists. I have a calendar on my wall. Even though I have a phone, I don't like organizing anything electronically. So, yeah, my friend Leslie Jane for my birthday got me this. It's called the Knitter's Notebook, and so this is more up my alley as opposed to Ravelry. And this is how I've started it already. You know, I've got it here for the hipster. I kept the tag. It's got a little sample of the yarn. And all my little notes, what needles I used. Yeah, so I love this. It's a great way to stay organized and keep a little memory book of all your projects. So now I've got to kind of backtrack and think about other things I've made and journal them down. I love it. So I want to show, lastly, some acquisitions and a little bit of yarn porn. Okay, so, oh my goodness, Kelly of Lockbriar Knits. I watch her podcast, and you should watch it. It's always entertaining, and you're a sweetheart. We're going to get together and podcast together sometime. Anyway, she has an Etsy store as well. And I've just been keeping an eye on a couple of them, and I knew it was between this one, or I think the other one was Sweet Nectar, Kelly. That's another beautiful one. This one is called Stained Glass. It's a BFL. Look at the beautiful colors. It's just like stained glass. So I still don't know what I'm going to do with this, but it's not going to be socks. It's going to be something for my neck, it'll be a shawl or something. So I think. Anyway, it's beautiful. And in it, she sent me one of her teas. It was like a mango green tea. Oh my gosh, it was so good. So thank you, Kelly, and your yarn is stunning. Absolutely stunning. I'm kind of feeling like I should have got two. Anyway, we'll see. So I love it. Got that, and then this is another like unbelievable, beautiful yarn. The Julie Asselin Les Œufs d'Ikea. So it's 90% merino, 10% silk. This is the colorway Romance. And I believe it's going to be another Trimont Snood. I wore my gray one in a podcast once upon a time. Anyway, I love it. I wear it quite often, and I did it in gray because that's my everyday color. But my other happy color is pinks or this pretty soft mauve. The color is not showing up on my phone properly at all, but anyway, once I knit it up and get a good picture. So I'm gonna cast this on today. I have to. So pretty. Actually, jumpins'. Look at these two together. Wow. That could be, ooh. Okay, sorry, very distracted. Oh my gosh. Okay, last acquisition to show you. First of all, look at this sweet little box. I did it. I got the Kohana little mini scissors from Espastrico. Sadly, the pink tassels were all sold out, but I got the gray one. Look at the little leather protector. And then there it is. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. So I love keeping everything together. Like I've shown it before. I should have brought it over. My little plastic box that I keep all my notions in. Everything except for a tape measure and scissors has ever not fitted in that. Fit in that. So these little babies will fit, and they're sharp as can be. So Espastrico got this Japanese Kohana line in. There's little buckets and there's leather pouches. Beautiful stuff. It's definitely pricey, but beautiful. So I don't need another project bag. I do not need another bucket, but I needed scissors. No, I didn't. But I needed little baby ones that have a leather pouch. Now I can ditch the box. I've been like keeping the box to show you like how cute it is, how it comes. So I have that. And then those are my acquisitions. So the other things I've had on the go for like busyness between baseball has been dyeing up the St. Andrews Cricket Cove location, getting their yarn inventory all done. So I got a great big box of yarn dyed up for them. It took a good month to dye it up, and but I also did a special colorway for them. Donna, the owner of Cricket Cove, had asked if I could come up with some kind of special St. Andrews colorway. So I did, and this is what I did. So when I think of St. Andrews, I definitely like think of the water. Water Street is just, it's beautiful. That's where all the gift shops are and all the yummy restaurants. So it's a skein of like this pale washed out blue with speckles of dark pink and purple, a little bit of yellow. So this will be in the St. Andrews store only. It's called St. Andrews Summer. So I got that finished. And last podcast I had meant to, it's pretty, hey? I had meant to show you guys what I had given Sandy when I met Sandy from the lakeside in at the Knitter's Frolic. And this is the skein I had gifted her. It's called Up Knit Creek. It's like turquoise and gold. It's kind of, well, not kind of, I think it's really pretty. I may be into pinks and grays, but I've decided this is going to be my next set of socks. What else? I put on, I kind of like went out on a limb and decided to do a mystery skein for July. And I put up 12, and I believe there's 6 left. It was well received, so that was kind of fun. So you ladies that ordered your mystery skein, it will be shipped out at the end of June. I'm aiming for the 18th so that it's definitely there in time for the 1st of July, so you have your mystery July skein. And I also posted on my Etsy shop an advent calendar. So I only posted 5 because it is an expensive purchase, but I guess it all kind of goes along with what everybody's been charging, and the price makes sense when you take into what you get. You will be getting 24 mini 20-gram skeins, all fingering weight, and 1 large 100-gram skein. And that will be a BFL high twist, a really pretty base. And even though it's Christmas and all the colorways will be like a Christmas theme and a Christmas name, I plan on using a palette of all colors. So it's not going to be like a red, green, silvery, anything like that. Like, there will definitely be those colors, but more importantly, you will see pink, you will see orange, you will see black, brown, you will see it all. So if anybody's interested, I posted them early because I know it's something, A, you have to think about, B, I have to make sure I have that many mini skeins on my inventory side of things to dye up and mail. They will be mailed out, I want to say the 1st of November, because I want to make sure that you have them for December 1st. And if I have your money, I want to make sure you have your product very soon. So it would definitely be one of those things you've got to hold off, but I'm going to have fun because I'm going to wrap them all up individually. So every single day you have a little surprise to open. And yeah, I've never done this before. I know other dyers have done it for years, and I was like, oh, I think that sounds like a lot of fun to me. So I already have all my colorways written down. Had fun coming up with the names, of course. That's like one of the perks of being a yarn dyer. So it's using your imagination and all that fun stuff. So I think I've covered everything. I guess one last thing I wanted to share, which is fun, happy news for me, is where I am a vendor on Etsy, and every year there's been an Etsy market in New Brunswick where all the New Brunswick makers come together and have one full market day of selling their products. So I went there last year. It's in Sussex at the Dairytown Market, and I went last year and I really enjoyed it. Like, I bought some beautiful things. I got a mug and a candle, soaps, yarn. So this year the applications went out on Instagram, and so I went on and I filled one out, and my vendor application got approved. So I have never done anything like this. I'm so, like, it's been on Etsy, it's been in Cricket Cove, and it's been like one-on-one with my friends, but I got approved to be part of the Etsy New Brunswick market. So it's in September on the 29th, I believe. So I'm going to put more information about it, and also start sharing what other vendors are going to be there. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to meet some new people, and maybe we can trade product. Yeah, I'm going to do some special fun things for it. I have mohair on the go. I'm going to do sock sets, so like the skein in the mini contrasting heel and heel, cuff, and toe. Yeah, so I was really happy. I didn't know if I'd get approved or not, just because I'm such a newbie to all of this, and there are a couple of other yarn people, but anyway, I'm going to be there, so I'm very excited. So I'll keep you guys updated on that, and maybe give you some sneak peeks to what I'm doing for different colorways and surprises. Yeah, so tonight, baseball. Tomorrow, off with my knitting girls to have drinks and eat and knit and sit around and have some laughs. I'm looking forward to it. So June, thank you for hosting. Happy knitting, everybody. Yeah, hopefully I won't be like another month and a half before I podcast again. So this has been a long one. Oh my goodness, I'm at 45 minutes. I never thought I'd do a long one. Sorry, hope this is okay. Okay, so have a great weekend, everybody, and happy knitting. See you soon. Bye.